Imagine, if you would, for just a moment, that you're on a ship in the middle of the ocean and the clouds are covering the sky. And we're back hundreds of years ago where you didn't have GPS and you didn't have all these different tools for measuring distance and direction. Back then, if they had cloudy days for too long, they became lost. And they would just have to try and do their best to figure where they'd traveled based on where they were before it clouded over. Now, the other night I was out here and I was taking some shots of the night sky. And if you're watching this, I'm going to share some pictures from that because it's absolutely spectacular. When you go out into the wilderness, out into the mountains, out into some place where there is no artificial light, and you have an opportunity to look up at the sky, you'll see millions of stars. It's absolutely amazing. Now, what's most amazing to me is those stars were a major way that people used to figure out where they wanted to go. And nowadays, I couldn't imagine needing to use the stars to try and get where I'm going. It's not something I would ever expect myself to have to do. But to look at those stars and to see the most well-known constellations being the Big Dipper pointing up to the North Star, Orion, Seven Sisters, all of those different well-known constellations that were used as points that they could measure from to figure out how they were traveling. It made me think a little bit about business. And I was thinking how so many small business owners are really in their own little ship out in the ocean. And oftentimes they'll say something like, "Oh man, this economy just has my business down." Or they'll say, "Yeah, things are so rough. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to fix it." And to me, those are statements of people sitting in a ship trying to navigate by the stars, but it's cloudy. And I think to myself, I wish these people knew there are better ways to measure and to mark direction and to know if they've gotten off track. So many times when we as business owners are off track, we sometimes have our vision clouded and we can't figure out exactly why we've gotten off track or what needs to be adjusted. And so if that's the case, there's some really good news. You don't need to be operating in a cloudy sky. There's a few simple steps you can take to figure out, are you off track? If you are off track, what direction do you need to go? And then there's ways to measure to figure out when you're back on track and how to stay on track. So probably the most important way to know if you're off track is, do you have a goal? What is it you're trying to accomplish? Not in some vague term, but make it very concrete, like the people sailing ships. They didn't set sail in a ship and say, "Well, I hope I find a harbor someday." They'd say, "I'm coming from this harbor and I'm going to sail for this long and then I'll be in this harbor." And they knew the path they had to take to get there, more or less. And that's what we as business owners need to do. What is it you're hoping to accomplish this week, this month, this year? Are you hoping to have, I don't know, 100,000 in gross revenue? Maybe 10 million in gross revenue. What is that number? And from that number, you can back into other numbers. If you're hoping for $120,000 this year in gross revenue, you know you need to hit 10,000 every month on average. If you need to hit 10,000 a month, then you divide that roughly by 4 weeks and you're sitting somewhere around 2,500 a week. If you're at 2,500 a week, that's roughly going to be $500 a day. What do you need to do as a business owner to bring in $500 a day? If you know that you close approximately 10% of your deals and one deal is $500, you need to talk to 10 people a day on average and sell one of those 10 people. That's an example of how you get back on track when you're off track. And it goes from that vague, sick feeling in your gut of, "I don't know what's wrong, but something's wrong and I don't know how to fix it," to, "I have a roadmap. It's like I have GPS. I can check in on it every single day. I can see if I'm on track or off track." And it goes from trying to navigate in a cloudy sky to being able to navigate with GPS in your business.